Hey guys, this is Eric Weingart with Weingart Racing. It's supposed to be Saturday, but it actually is Saturday as I'm recording this, but you probably won't get to see it till Sunday. Doing a little update video on what's going on in the shop. I usually do this once a week. On Sunday, so as you're probably watching this, we're going to be at Tulsa Raceway Park. We're going to watch the Mega Week. It's a Dragon Drive event for the Rocky Mountain Race Week. Should be like 550 cars, they said. It's a bunch. So I'm going to go watch that, and my son has his graduation party after. But anyway, let me show you some of the stuff in the shop. As a reminder, you about out of time. If you don't have your entry in by the end of today as you're watching this, June 1st is the deadline to enter the Small Block Chevy Cam Challenge, which means I'm probably going to announce who's in it this week. So if you haven't, you should have already done it or get on that. But I'm going to announce who's in it. And that one will be really neat. So that one's the one that gets a supercharger, so it'll be pretty cool. I know you're kind of let down and didn't get as much. I did do that tech video with the spacers, but I have had zero time. And YouTube's paying less because of the advertising sales has gone down, obviously because probably profit margin shrunk because of tariffs and stuff or whatever. But it just isn't paying. And then also I'm too busy, so I just do not have time. So I'll show you some of the stuff so you can see what I'm talking about. So let me just get to the cooler stuff.
I got these heads back in stock. Now, you might remember around Easter, I had an Easter sale for heads. Well, I've got them back. So luckily, they are more expensive. That just happens. But here's what they are. These are a 210 full CNC ported head. And I've also got the 220. But the 220 looks a little bit better. I ain't gonna lie. The finish is better than it is on the 210. But the 210 is cheaper than the 220, which I'll talk about in a minute. These are CNC ported over in China. It's a Chinese casting, but this casting's quality. They're quality, I will tell you that. This is the same people that cast the heads for ProMax. These heads, they're $1,700 assembled for a pair, the 210s, for a hydraulic roller setup. They have 8mm valves. The valves are not Chinese. All the hard parts are not made from anywhere near China. So the valves come from Argentina, same place the AFR has their valves made, same factory. They're 8mm stems. The springs are pack springs, and they're like an LS style. So they're little small ones are 129 springs as far as diameter. Great springs, use it for a lot of stuff. But these, for the 210 here, full CNC ported, they flow about 288. You get a flow sheet with every head I sell. But you can also have an option too if you want me to redo the valve job, because I always make sure that they seal. So I'll vacuum test everyone. But if you want me to redo the valve job and put my valve job on it, it flows a little bit better. It costs a bit more. I sell them that way too. But those are available on my online store, and you can click on the description of this video and there'll be a link to my online store to purchase these. The 220 head is more expensive, and I'll tell you why. The finish on it looks a lot better, I'll tell you that. These ones flow 288, these ones flow 300. Again, they're not my design, by the way. I don't know where they got them from. I have an idea, but I don't want to accuse anybody. But the reason why the 220 costs more, and I only have a few 220s, is because on this head, the 210 uses the 208 intake valve. The 220 uses a 210. So for these valves, because it's 8mm, I have to run an AFR valve. So I have to get the valves from AFR, and AFR valves are a bit more expensive than the ones, even though they came from the same factory, AFR has a markup on them. So these run AFR valves, same pack springs, but because of that, these are more expensive. They do flow more, and there you go. Now, here's something interesting too, and I'd be happy to announce this. I now have a CNC program for the ProMax Project X 215s. ProMax has a 235 CNC program that they have, but I also have a new one that I created. It's a little bit smaller at 232. It flows about the same. If you have either this head, because I'm about to send a couple pairs off to get ported, and I'll have them in stock. But if you have an ProMax Project X 215 head, one of these 210 heads, or, this is the big one, an AFR 210 eliminator head, you can send it in to me. I can have it ran through the program, CNC ported, and get it back. They flow 325, so they're not flowing as good as, say, my Dragon Slayers, but they're far more economical. So it's an easier way to do that. And if you got a 210, you want to turn it 230, same thing. Do you have to run any other specialty parts like to go with it? No. You could keep running your stud mount rockers that you had before with your AFR 210 or your ProMax Project X 215. But the port grows to 230, 2 cc's. Anyway, able to do that. So a great deal. So if you want to do that, just email me, weingartnerracing@gmail.com. I'll probably have a next video, probably next week, I'll have some samples here so I can actually show you what it looks like. And that's that, but I want to show you this other weird thing. You can see it over here. I have been kind of leaving off some of the Ford stuff. A viewer sent this in, and it's been almost a month, and I've just been so swamped. That, and I think the next tech video is going to be the heads he sent in that go with it, because they're C3 heads from Ford. But this is only weird because he's like, what do you think about this? Well, I think it's stupid. But I have not dyno tested it. So like, what are you looking at? This is a single plane manifold, obviously, that you can tell. And someone put a divider right through the center. Not only that, they put it all the way down, which is really hard to see. Let me see if I can grab my flashlight right behind me. Yep. I don't want to do multiple takes, sorry. You can see how it goes all the way back. It's a trapezoid design. I don't like it. But in saying that, I have never tested this. Now, to a Ford guy, this might look brand new. To a Chevy guy, this is not new at all. Back in the day, Wyand had what they called the accelerator intake manifold. It was a single plane manifold, and they actually had a notch in here, and you could put a, just like this, a piece of metal right through it that made it split off like this. It's not technically a dual plane. It just splits the plenum volumes. That's all it does. I have never tested it on the dyno. My thought on this is it's just going to suck. You might say, how? Well, on a Ford, it seems like it's even worse. Because these two right here look like you got plenty of airflow. Well, not plenty, but you've got some. But that back one there, your area that's merged is little bitty. Your triangle open window here, see that triangle? It's pretty small. So I don't think it's successful. Feels to me you'd have to port more of the top up here to make this work. You can't just run it like that. And even saying that, I don't like that. But I have never dyno tested it. I am sure at some point I will. You might say, why don't you just dyno test this one on your Ford? This is for a Cleveland. This is not for a Windsor. And my Ford dyno mule that I'm using is a Windsor. So, yeah, at some point maybe I'll try this, but I just don't think it's going to work. I was skeptical with a Dominator on a dual plane, but I just do not feel this is going to work at all. But I thought I'd show you. Let me show you some other weird stuff and then I'll wrap up the video.
Well, I thought I had other cool stuff to show you, but I'm just booked up. I've tried recording this now 3 times and I keep getting interrupted, so I'm giving up. I know I could put my phone on Do Not Disturb and be fine, but whatever. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. Except for I could say today is Saturday as I'm recording this. Bob from Bob McVeigh, he dyno tested a set of my Dragon Slayers. That's going to end up on his channel. It did really well. And I'm happy because there's nothing worse than sending out a set of heads that you know is going to do well. And then sometimes it just doesn't for whatever reason. So always a fear. I don't care. I do this enough, it still happens. But I'm glad it turned out well. So look for that probably on Old Man Garage's video. But that was a good day. Very, very uplifting. So I'm happy on that. Always want a little bit more than you ever get, though, but pretty good. Anyway, yeah, that's all I got, man. I just want to make sure I got out a video. Sorry, man, for the viewers. Sometimes it's just busy here. Like, I'll just to tell you, as I'm looking down, I've got 1 set, 2, 3, 4 sets of Dragon Slayers I need to get valve. Put the guy, there's some casting flash in there because I don't always clean up on the CNC machine. Got to do that first, put in the guides, size the guides, do the valve jobs. Those got to be done within the week. And then there's 4 or 5 different sets of valve jobs that need to be done, plus a full port job that needs to be done. I'm way behind them. Plus an intake manifold that's over here that just got off the mill, just like the one that Bob had. It needs to be done this week. So there's I'm just slammed. So that's the other thing too. I know you guys would love to see me do more dyno testing and stuff. I just really do not have time. I just need a week just to be here. Because this week I went to Gerald Brand in Oklahoma City, Brand Racing Engines, because I had him repair that head that got messed up on the last week's video where it got dented, or 2 weeks ago from shipping. So he repaired that, thank God. But yeah, I think it's just busy. I just need to. Bishop was supposed to work on Tuesday and then on Thursday, which is great because he could tear down some heads, clean some heads, get some stuff done. But I feel like I have absolutely no time. I haven't even taken the S10 out once. So we know we're going to the track tomorrow, and it's like June 1st. And that's the first time all season. So I missed all the good weather. It just is what it is. Guys, sorry. Thanks for watching. The next video will be over those Ford heads. And then I've got at least one other thing to talk about with the carburetors because I did dyno test on that. And maybe by then I will have made another, get ready to go back to the dyno for something else. Because the next thing should be the big block 540 because I've almost got those heads done. So I can dyno test those 3 intakes, the big ones. But I just got to find time. And then I still need to do the back cut test with the LS. And then also the Ford Cam Challenge is probably coming up. Because I know Gary's really close on the engine on that. So that's coming up. Yeah, it's crazy busy. I forgot about that one. I did have a customer who had a 327 that he had Gary. I had fully ported the heads. But he had Gary, he took the short block to Gary because something was wrong with it. The cam timing was off, really is what it was. So it bent every one of the exhaust valves. But he had put on my new heads, and then they re-dynoed it. It was the same day I was going to Brands, and I just didn't even have time to get down there to help him with tuning. But it turned out pretty good, but missed that too. Man, it's just too busy. Anyway, sorry to hear me ramble. I know it's not what you want to see, but tech videos will come up. I'm just swamped. So you guys take care. Remember, I don't port cast iron heads. I am not Superman, but I did race Superboy. You guys take care.